Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here, and today I'm going to answer a question that I generally just, vaguely give an answer to, because honestly, it's a little personal, but I get asked it often enough to where I think there's a value to showing you or telling you what the value of this account would be. So, or any account for that matter. I mean, I get asked all the time how much money I spend in the game, and I don't want to give that six-figure number out because it's bad. But this particular account, so this is an account that we started in 916, 97 days ago. Literally on day 100, we are going to be fighting with this account. And the whole goal from start to finish was, at least at the beginning, to efficiently spend. And I still think I have done that. I've spent a lot efficiently. And that's where my start versus where I'm at now is different, because at the end of the day, the money I've put into this account, this 916 account, while it has been a lot, and I'm going to give you the number in a minute, every dollar that I've put into this account has been very efficiently allocated towards making this account able to take on T5 accounts without being T5, because it's not necessarily, when it comes to the spending, it's not necessarily getting T5 should be the main goal. That's not really the case. I want to put this out there that when you're putting money into a brand new account, or if you're just starting the game and you're just kind of putting some money in here and there, where you should focus that money on to make it the most effective as possible. Because I beat regularly T5 players with an account like this all the time. It's just a matter of the tech. It's a matter of the commanders. It's a matter of your troop count, things like that. Those are things that, especially in KVK1, which we're about to really kind of unfold here. I mean, we've got KVK1 right now, but the fighting is about to start in just under 3 days, guys. 3 days, and this pass up here is going to be unlocked, and we'll be going up against at least Kingdom 915 and maybe 914 if they want to poke their head out to the right and say hi to us and have a little fun. But basically what this video is going to be about is telling you how much I've spent on this particular account in 916, and then just as importantly, where I put that money so that you can be as efficient and effective as possible, varying on how much money you're going to put into the game. I know I'm not the majority when it comes to how much money I put in. I get it. So take this for what it is, and just, enjoy the fruits of my spending on the channel and have a good time with that. Hit sub button, hit the bell notification, all that stuff. But just as importantly, customize it to what you do. If you put in a tenth of what I put in, okay, well, focus on what I've done here and put a tenth of that towards the things that I've put it towards so that you can be as effective as possible. So what have I done? Okay, how much have I spent on this account? I went through my PayPal account, which I do get occasionally donations from you guys to the PayPal account. I've gone through my own personal business account, that kind of stuff. And altogether, total, I've spent about 12 grand on this account. Now, there's more coming, and I think I probably spent an extra 1,000 or 1,500 with the last couple videos I've done. And we've got the skin coming out, the new skin coming out, which would be very nice to have. So where am I at with that 12, 13 grand? And what do I need to spend to get to T5 if that's what I wanted to do, which I don't. I don't want to get T5. And I'll tell you why I don't want to do that either. So with that 12, 13 grand, I've done a few things. I bought Living Legends a few times. That's helped me get Mina maxed out, 6 stars, max level 60. Same thing with Charles. It's given me 6 stars, level 60. Now, alongside of that, I've been killing barbs like crazy. I've been helping with Kerouac, which gives good XP books. I've been doing Guardians as much as I possibly can, although I could be better at that. And just in general, I've been very focused on making sure that I get as much XP towards my marches, because in KVK1, that is liquid gold. That's basically T5 without having to get T5, if that makes sense. Same thing with Julius. I would never, ever, ever get Julius 6 star. In fact, my main account still does not have Julius 6 star, but because it's KVK1 and that's all this account is for, Julius is actually pretty good as a primary, second Barca, and you can basically whoop up on anybody up front of you except for T5. These are the commanders that are going to help me take care of T5. This will help me kind of clear everything else as well. Same thing with Sun Tzu. He's maxed out, level 58, 6-star. Even Richard, level 45, 5-star. Ethelfled, level 45, 5-star. Double C, 4-star to get his mobility talents up and running with the peacekeeping. I've put a lot of extra money into getting commanders maxed out. This is my 4-star Hannibal Barker at level 17. I did that because I knew I was going to max him, but I didn't want to level him up, so I 4-starred him from 1-star. Those are the types of moves you need to make to really be efficient with what you're spending. So that being said, commanders are huge, and this is where a good chunk of my money went to, guys. There's a good chunk of money, I'd say maybe a quarter of it, that went to Living Legends, because in the early game, Living Legends is actually pretty good because it gives you the XP, it gives you resources, it gives you gold heads, it gives you stars, it gives you all those things that you need to get your XP, your commanders XP'd up and starred up, and that's what's going to win you battlefield fights all the time. Same thing with rallies, same thing with garrisons. You need to have really good commanders. That's where a good chunk of the money went to, was Living Legends. Now the other thing, War Machine. I spent a good chunk of money on War Machine and Call of the Ancients. Let's look at the troop count. I've got 3.7 million troops, guys, and most of them are infantry and cav, 1.6 million roughly on each. Haven't really put too much into archers, and I've got basically enough T1 siege to last me a lifetime when it comes to farming. If I decide to farm in a war zone, it's not going to be the end of the world if they go away. So with that being said, this is a good thing to have early game too, because the more troops you have, the longer you can fight, the harder it is for somebody to rally you. And again, when you're a frontline fighter, or if you're a frontline flag garrison, or if you're a frontline rallier, you need those extra troops because you're going to be spending them quite a bit. And if you're going to be rallying T5 players, which I do plan on doing whenever I see them, you need the extra stuff, okay? And the way you're going to do that is to have extra troops, but then also behind those troops, let's go inside the city, you're going to want to have tech. And this is the biggest recommendation I give anybody that asks me, how do I start out my account? How do I be really efficient in what I do? And how do I get good really quick? This is how. The more experienced players know this, and the less experienced players are starting to figure this out, but it's all about war tech. Getting T4 as early as possible is a big deal. Maxing out your combat tactics line here is a big deal because it gives you 15% attack, defense, and health. That's huge on the battlefield compared to somebody who has 6% or 5% because they've only got 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 on this line. Cartography with the movement speed, very, very, very helpful early game. And again, getting your T4 tech done and then moving over to this one. You can get your war tech basically done without getting T5. I got this done before putting a single point outside of engineering and mathematics into the econ tree. Okay, so when we're going into the economics tree here, all this stuff, I got whatever I needed to get to engineering, which gives you the building speed buff at the early game, which is very important. And then mathematics, the 15% research speed, which I'm still using today to level up things. That's all I had in the economic tree for my technology. Everything else went into war tech. That's why I always had an advantage on the battlefield. Even for people who had T5, when I was level 25, 26, I was still kind of right there. I was able to fight them because I had this stuff already maxed. I had this stuff at 7 or 8 out of 10, and I had these 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. Now, to get these last points in Combined Arms and Medical Corps, you have to max out the economic tree. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working towards that, and eventually I think I will get that before KVK is done, but I have a little ways to go. I've got quite a bit of little researches here and there to do, but they're not bad. I'm pretty close, actually. So with that being said, once I do that and I get these last 210-day researches done, oh my god, it's terrible. I'll have T5 tech without T5. And I don't plan on going T5 on this account because once you go T5 and you start to convert all those troops that I showed you earlier, you are going to really have to invest in that account to continue to fight with it. Getting to T5 is not the expensive part. It's after you get T5 and you go full bore into T5. I told you I spent probably 6 figures into this game since I started playing. That's because I have T5 accounts that I've been using for 2 years. It's keeping those up and running and keeping the commanders flowing and things like that. That's where the money goes. It's not getting T5. Getting T5 as early as I have is expensive. If you wanted to go from, like, not efficiently, like what I'm trying to show you, but just if you want to just bang out T5 right off the bat, it's going to cost you about 15 to 20 grand. That's it. You're going to get T5, and then you're going to have T5, and you're going to have crap commanders. That's the problem. T5 are great, and they'll win you fights enough whenever you're fighting somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. But if you're going up against somebody who has max war tech, like you see here, and they have proper commanders and they know how to fight, you're not going to do that well, and that 20 grand is going to go down the drain for no reason, and you're going to be out of the fight because you're going to run out of gold. Okay? So that's why doing it this way, I will basically be a T5 on the field without T5, and I'm going to have proper garrisons. I'm going to have proper rally commanders. I've got gear out the wazoo. Look at this gear that I've got because of the new geared up bundle and the new equipment system that we've got. Look at this. We've got this is basically better than my main. I mean, this stuff is almost better than my main. And this part maybe was a tenth of what I spent on this account. The geared up stuff is very inexpensive, and because it's so easy to get epic gear now, even for low spending free to play players, you can get this kind of gear relatively quickly. Now, obviously, this is a VIP 16 item. But you can put a Heart of the Saint here, and that's relatively easy to get with the Sunset Canyon stuff and the Golden Kingdom stuff and things like that. And then same thing with my Charles here. I mean, it's well specced out. That in combination with having really solid commanders, properly skilled up, well XP'd, well leveled, well starred, all those good things. This is what your money will get you if you put about 10 to 12 grand into it. I would rather have this account with what I've got than a T5 account with crap commanders. I will do much more on the battlefield with this than I will if I had done the other way and just pumped 20 grand into the account, got T5, but then I wouldn't have my Charles and stuff done. I wouldn't have my Minna and stuff done. I wouldn't have any of these things done star-wise. I wouldn't have the troops. I wouldn't have any of the other things that I've got. This is a more well-rounded account that will be more effective on the battlefield. So that's the story of this account from start to finish. I've spent on City of Hope at the very beginning to get my troop training structures up and running, my hospitals up and running, my my research ability up and running with my academy. One of the more expensive parts is getting your castle to level 25 and then getting your watchtower done to 25 as well, so you can get your academy to 25. Once you get to academy 25, that's an extra, I think it's 10% or 11% research speed, so that's always a good thing to invest into. But those are all kind of expensive if you want them quickly, so that's where a good chunk of the money went to as well, and that was done through the City of Hope bundle. And then once I got level 25 on the academy, I really started pumping the rest of the money into the Fountain of Wisdom bundle, which is what showed up on my 1-year anniversary ticker or 2-year anniversary ticker when it said which bundle is the most popular for you, because that's the one that takes the longest. It has a lot of days of stuff to go through, especially if you're going through the war tech, which is what you should be doing. So I hope that's kind of explained how I got to where I'm at from where I was, why I spent into what I spent into. Do I wish I didn't spend as much into it as I did? Yes, of course. I mean, nobody wants to spend as much as they do, whether that's $1,000 or whether that's, like me, $12,000, $13,000. But what you get for it is what you put into it, if you know where to put it. If you don't know where to put that stuff into, then you're just blowing your money, and you're going to have a bad experience in the game because you don't have what you should have with the money that you've spent. So unless you're spending the 20 grand a month that we have other players in the kingdom doing, and you can see it right here. I mean, they've got maxed out everything, tons of troops, T5, all that good stuff. These guys have all that because they spend the 20 grand a month, 15 grand a month into the game. I've spent 12, 13 total over 3 months on this account, whereas, and maybe it's a little bit more, maybe 13 or 14, but these guys have spent that every single month since the game has been out for Kingdom 916. So that's where you start to get into the 130, 100 million, 90s million, those kinds of numbers. And once you get to that, it doesn't really matter what you buy because everything's going to go towards all that stuff. You can train your troops, you can do your stars, if you get a few of those Living Legend bundles, and you'll have everything you need. So that's where the efficiency part of it comes into play. I've spent probably a seventh or an eighth of what some of these 100 million players have spent, and I feel like I can go toe-to-toe on the battlefield with them because I know how to fight, and I've got the money that I did spend invested into the things that are going to make me effective on the battlefield, which is the whole reason I play this game. You guys know that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, hit them in the comment section below. Hit the bell notification and the like button, and subscribe if you have not done that already. How dare you? Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. And take care.